You really need to see this because sometimes the ETFs that people are talking about a lot, they are the ETFs that are not performing as well. And the ETFs that people don't talk about, they're the ETFs that perform really well. That, of course, is counting the price return, including all the distributions. So hang on for a bit. Surely I'm going to show you one of the best performing ETFs that people have forgotten about. But first, let me give you an update on current stock market situation. YieldMax Ultra Option Income Strategy, ULTY, we know yesterday it did really bad. It went down to 468 and it bounced back to 490. I think it closed. So if you look at here today, it did really good, a little bit better. It went up about 1%. I think at one point in the morning it went to 2%, and then of course it closed at 498. So this is a pretty good hope. At least is going back to $5. And as we can see here, overnight market is still the same price. So hopefully tomorrow when the market opens, it might go back to $5, and going forward it might even go to $6. That's a hope. But if you look at volume today, is a little bit less than what it was yesterday, because yesterday there were a lot of selling, and that's why it did a huge crash. You can see here is 68 million share being traded for today. On average is only 36 million. Days range was between $4.92 to $5.01. I really like the price of $5 because I think it's just an easier math. So if you have $100, you get 20 shares. If you have 1,000, you're going to get 200 shares. So it's pretty good price to buy an ETF. But I'm going to show you at what price I did buy ULTY, because yesterday I could not see the opportunity and let it go. I had to buy something, especially ULTY, because it's an ETF that I like. There are other ETFs that I really like, but ULTY is one of the ETFs that I'm attracted to right now, and because of its price being lower, and also has been paying consistent distribution between 10 cents to 9 cents. So that's a pretty cool. All right, other ETFs that I mentioned yesterday that went down, today pretty much all of them went up, and some of them did better than the others. So you can see here, Round Hill We Pay went up closer to 2%. One of the income weekly paying ETFs that did really well was Blocks. Yesterday it went down about 6%. And today, when the market opened, it was almost 7%, but it closed around 5%. So it gained $1.12. Today is 24.71. So this is a pretty good. And given that this Blocks has a lot to do with crypto, what disappointed me was MSTY. It didn't gain as much. It did gain only like 1%. But again, this is a good price for people to buy because it's cheaper. If you're an investor who believes in strategy stock, which is underlying for MSTY, other ETFs that did well was QLDY. This is from Defiance, and this one pays twice per week distributions. Robinhood stock went up closer to 6%. Of course, all the ETFs that have exposure to this stock will also go up massively. TSPY, Tap Alpha. This ETF is one of the ETF, actually, people don't talk a lot about them. There's a TSPY and TDAC. They are paying their distributions beautifully. These two ETFs here are from Tap Alpha. They're one of the best ETFs. I'm going to make a video soon about these two ETFs. TSP, this is a SPY, so it's pretty much S&P 500, and TDAC, this is the NASDAQ. So you have the NASDAQ 100 and you have S&P 500. They have awesomely performed, and also they do pay weekly distributions. TDAC is the newest of the two, and it just paid its first distributions. Again, if you don't want to miss the update, I'm going to talk about these ETFs, and I'm going to show you why these are one of the best ETFs. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and if you like this content, as always, smash the like button. All right, another interesting thing that went up and went down was Beyond Meat. I know this is not one of the things we talk about on this channel, but guess what? Beyond Meat has been making the buzz lately. It's one of the meme stock. We are almost back again to a meme stock era. Remember a GameStop? So this is exactly what happened. Beyond Meat is been doing great and worse. It depends on when you bought. If you have some money to play, I think it's a good idea to buy some shares. I do have a call option on this stock because a couple weeks ago it went down almost about 25 to 35%. And when I saw that, I did call option a strike at $2.50. So I'm in the money right now. But this is just a little bit of portfolio to play with. So there's nothing wrong if you have some money and you want to play. You have to make one of the ETFs as your core, and you can have some money to play for fun. But there's a lot of risk involving in buying this type of stocks. Again, this is not a financial advice. This is just my opinion. Because on this channel, I always give you an update on these income ETFs. And sometimes we touch base on other market news. And everything I talk here is just usually for educational purposes, has nothing to do with financial advice. Because on this channel, I don't give advice because I'm not a financial advisor. So yesterday when ULTY went down, I took that advantage and I did buy some shares. As you can see here, Tidal YieldMax ULTY Option Income Strategy ETF. I bought 10,000 shares at $4.94. So at the price of today at $4.98, meaning I'm up about 4 cents per share. So 4 cents times 10,000, that's about 400 up, right? And I'm not going to receive distributions this time because I bought on a record date. I'm hoping to receive distributions 9 cents per share next week, and that will be $900. But that's just based on what they have been paying. There's no guarantee they're going to pay 9 cents. They can pay 8 cents, they can pay 7 cents. That's just purely based on what YieldMax will decide to do. Because YieldMax has clearly stated on their prospectus that all this distribution they're paying, there's no guarantee that they're going to pay those distributions. And of course, the price is at 494 and it went to 498. There's no guarantee also this price will stay at 494. All right, here I want to show you something very interesting. This is comparison of a few YieldMax ETFs. You can do this with other type of ETFs. And this is from Seeking Alpha comparison tool. So I have ULTY, YMAX, MSTY, Coney, YMAG, NVDY. And the reason I picked this because these are one of the original YieldMax ETFs and one of the popular at one time before they came up with all these fund of funds, because now they have a lot of them. But honestly, I always look at these ones as my main core from YieldMax. So we have ULTY performance here. Expense ratio for ULTY is 130. YMAX is 1.28. MSTY 0.99, Coney 1.22, YMAG 112, NVDY is 127. Asset under management, ULTY is at 3.08 billion. 995 for YMAX. MSTY is 3.30 billion. So MSTY and ULTY, they are the biggest YieldMax ETFs in pertains to asset and management. MSTY used to be closer to 6 billion, but ULTY catched up to it because I think a lot of investors have sold their shares and they bought ULTY or other ETFs. For example, WePay is very attractive from around here. Coney market cap right now or asset management is 1.22 billion. YMAG is the lowest one here. A lot of people shy away from YMAG, but YMAG has done really well. The market cap right now is only less than 500 million and NVIDIA is 1.74 billion. So these are the biggest YieldMax ETFs, and that's why I decided to make comparison because these are the top of the top. Which ETF has done the best? Remember, a lot of people always focus on ULTY and MSTY, but you forgot NVIDIA used to be one of the best, and also Coney used to be one of the best. YMAG and YMAX, they are those ETFs that you can hold for a long time, but we've seen YMAX has been doing really bad. YMAG has stayed steady from when it crashed from 20 bucks to like a 15, and it's been around 15 bucks for the longest time. But here are the returns for these ETFs. I stretched to 5 years. This is a maxed because all these ETFs have been out now more than 5 years. So if you look at the total return, ULTY has returned only 14%. YMAX 46%, MSTY 182%, Coney 119%, YMAG 58%. NVDY is the winner here, has returned 272%. Very impressive. So the second ETF here, including all the distributions, will be MSTY, even though MSTY has crashed, but it's still one of the best ETFs. This performance comparison here is if you extend all the way to 5 years. But let's say if we go to 1 month, we can see which ETF has done well. Within 1 month, the ETF that has done well here is again NVIDIA, and the ETF that has done worse is MSTY because has returned negative 15.82%. And this is the total return, including all your distributions. So it all depends when you bought this ETF. So for example, people who bought this ETF from beginning, they'll be laughing because they still up in all these ETFs. But let's say, for example, you bought this ETF a month ago, then you are down on MSTY. As I say, it all depends on when you buy. So for example, if we stretch 6 months, we can see the ETF that has gained the most is NVDY at 61%. The second ETF, by surprise here, would be YMAG. So YMAG has done bad if you extend all the way to 5 years. But within just 6 months, for example, if you invest in MSTY and you shy away from YMAG because you saw it as being a slower ETF, then you would have been down on MSTY and you would have been way up, close to 40% on YMAG. And if you bought ULTY 6 months ago, with all your distributions, you're up about 34%. What if we go year to date? This is from January of 2025 to today. The ETF that has gained the most is NVIDIA, and the ETF that has done the second is YMAG, and there's a YMAX, and there's a ULTY. So guys, what I want to show here is the performance. You kind of have to pay attention, not only the ETF that are making headlines, but the other ETFs that have greater return that people don't talk about. If we stretch to 1 year, again, YMAG has returned awesomely, like a 30%, is actually beating any other ETFs within 1 year. Has even beaten NVIDIA, has beaten MSTY, has beaten YMAX. Man, this is a really good to look at. If you go to 3 years, then the longer you extend, then we can see YMAG here is losing the ground, is at 58. And NVIDIA again is the leading here. MSTY is the second, and Coney is the third, followed by YMAX, followed by ULTY. So this is a pretty cool tool. I like it, and I like even the graph they show you here. Whatever you do, you can see the color. It's really good to come here and compare a bunch of ETFs that you want to invest your money. So guys, I just want to make this video to give you a quick update on these income weekly paying ETFs. And also I wanted to update you on the ETFs that have performed really well, but people have forgotten about them. And the other thing we touched base is the video that I'm going to make on top alpha ETFs, because I do believe those ETFs are one of the best ETFs. And that video I'm going to make this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. So stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe so you can watch that video I'm going to make. And if you like this content, again, please smash the like button and don't forget to share with someone you think this video might help. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on next video. Bye bye.